Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for mid-August 2024. You have this day and night card. It says there's current disharmony due to existing differences in some matter. You have this dream catcher card. It says pay attention to the signs, messages, and guidance that come to you at night. So you could be having dreams about something. I kind of intuitively feel like you could be having dreams about something, but then you are thinking to yourself that it's just a dream. And so sometimes I think we want something in life and we have a dream about it and we think, oh, I just had it. That wasn't a sign. That wasn't a message because, I was thinking about XYZ today. So, that's why I had a dream about whatever. But, I do think this is saying your dreams are literally messages to you right now. So, if you're having a dream about something, it probably isn't just a dream. It probably is guidance. And I think you need to kind of pay attention to your guidance or to the inner guidance that you are receiving at this time. It's clearly, guiding you towards something bigger and better, or, guiding you towards some sort of change in your life. So I would go for it. You have the Five of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, and the Nine of Wands. Definitely wanting some sort of change or wanting to make a change. Even right next to the Five of Swords, you have the Eight of Wands. And, the Five of Swords can represent a separation. And what did this card say day and night? It says there's current disharmony due to existing differences in some matter. So some of you might be thinking about moving away or walking away from something. You even go Eight of Wands to Chariot to the Queen of Wands. It's like this is clearly something that is going to require courage or require bravery or something like that. So again, some of you could be walking away from a situation. I kind of feel that it's probably a work situation. Seven of Pentacles is my card that says, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it worth it to keep investing your energy into what you're doing, or could there be something better? Or is there something better? The Eight of Wands, I think, is your solution. Well, actually, Eight of Wands, Chariot, and the Queen of Wands is your solution. I think that it's saying, don't wait for the situation to change or get better. You even have the Nine of Swords, and Nine of Swords is a never-ending nightmare. But sometimes I feel with the Nine of Swords that we are staying in a situation because we think that it is going to change, right? Like over time, but it really isn't. It's just going to stay the same. So I think that some of you need to have the courage to make the change, especially in work or business. I think that, there really could be a big change that you're making. And again, I like the Seven of Pentacles because to me, it says you're about to be growing something new financially, or you're about to be growing like a different type of harvest in your life. And, that could be a good thing. It could be a big harvest. You have the Nine of Wands. I think everybody feels like this right now, kind of, I think this is what I'm trying to say is, I feel like this is a very common kind of collective energy. People are a little bit, the wounded warrior, kind of like weary after a long battle. And so a lot of you are just kind of maybe trying to heal or take care of yourself or rest, relax, recover. I think it's important, especially during these times, that you really take care of yourself with something like the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands definitely says don't give up, but at the same time, the Nine of Wands could say, maybe you need a break, if you've been doing too much, or if you've been working too hard, or if you've been, like I said, doing too much. So let's see. With the Five of Swords, you have the Moon. The Moon is about needing to trust your intuition. The Moon means a lot of stuff. But, in your reading, I think that there is something you don't have answers on. Sometimes I feel, again, that the Moon can just say that you're looking at a situation that you want in your life, but you're just not sure what's going to happen on the journey. And so I feel for some of you, maybe you do have a dream or a goal or a wish with that dream catcher card, right? It's like something, but maybe there's no evidence, or maybe you're not sure if you move towards it that it's actually going to work out. So sometimes I feel the Moon is kind of represents a lack of clarity, or just not being sure what the journey is going to entail, right? So it's kind of like you're a hobbit here, Cancer. I feel like it's the unexpected journey, right? With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Three of Swords. Three of Swords is, again, a separation. There's definitely some sort of separation happening here. And, you have that differences card, Five of Swords, Three of Swords. It could be love, but again, intuitively, I feel for most of you, this is work, or you're moving, right? You have the Eight of Wands, the Chariot. It's like sometimes I think we can move away from home, or maybe you're moving away from where you grew up or something like that. Like on one hand, it can be heartbreaking, right? It can be sad to do that. But again, it's not a bad thing, right? So, I feel like sometimes we can be sad about making a change that we know is going to better our lives. And again, that doesn't mean that the emotion isn't there. And, that's kind of what I feel here. Like, I don't really feel the Three of Swords is talking about something bad. But again, yes, the sadness is there. And so, again, I don't know how to describe that, but there you go. With the Nine of Wands, you have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords can be lying, cheating, stealing. Obviously, if you were in a lying, cheating, stealing situation, you could be leaving. But the other thing that I would say is the Seven of Swords is a card of tactics. He is stealing those swords from an army in the background. And again, golden cards in the tarot are meant to be positive no matter what. So, he is doing something carefully, and he is making sure that those swords can't be used against him in battle. So for a lot of you, this could say that if you're trying to accomplish anything, that being more tactical could be a good idea. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this East card. It says beginnings on it, and you have this electricity. It says wildness on it. So maybe you need to embrace your wild side here, Cancer. I think that's what this is talking about, and you need a new beginning. Some of you might be making a change that other people don't expect, and again, that could be where the sadness is coming from. It's not really like sadness, again, I want to stress that sadness is not always a bad thing. Sometimes not that I care about the comments, but sometimes I get comments where people are like, how can it be good, but I'm going to be sad? I'm like life isn't black and white, right? Like there's shades of gray. There two things can be true at once, right? You can be sad about something that you're doing, but still it's going to better your life, like I already explained. So, I don't know. I kind of get that feeling here. There's like a new beginning. Other people are surprised. Maybe they're pulling at your heartstrings as well. Like if you're leaving a job, for example, maybe the people are telling you that they're sad or whatever. But again, I think you're doing something, to better your own life. So this is not, while they may be pulling at your heartstrings, I think that this is a good choice that you could be making, especially if this is making any sense to you at all. So there you go. You have the Eight of Wands, Nine of Swords, and the Judgment card. Eight of Wands is quick success. You also have the Chariot. Eight of Wands plus a Chariot is momentum. So I feel for a lot of you, you are building a lot of momentum in your life. And, by momentum, I mean, you could be noticing that things are happening faster or quicker for you, or that you're moving in new directions a lot faster. Maybe your manifestations are kind of increasing as well. So I really like where this is going. Eight of Wands is quick success. So I feel like there could be a quick success for you. You have the Nine of Swords. I kind of get like an interest, that feeling, like I said earlier, that you just, it's like, how long do you have to wait for something to change? It's, especially in work or business, like your boss can tell you that they're going to give you a raise in 6 months, but maybe 6 months comes around and they're like, oh, well, I can't do it right now. I have to do it in 6 months. But it's like, how many more times are you going to let them say 6 more months, right? It's like, that's kind of the story that's popping into my head with the Nine of Swords. Again, it's not like bad. It's not like you're in a bad position or anything, but it's just a situation that I think has proven to you that it's not going anywhere. So again, if you have something in your life, and it could be anything, that isn't going anywhere, then I kind of feel this reading is a little bit of a clue that it might be time to make a big change. You have the Judgment card here. These people are standing in these coffins. The coffin represents their old life or the old situation. They're being called up out of the coffin, which is their new life or their purpose. And I feel for a lot of you, this could be you being called to something kind of like bigger and better or different that you're going to be working on. Again, I think for most of you, this is work or business. For others, you could just simply be a move. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Page of Pentacles. This could be good news coming in for you, by the way. This can represent a messenger. The Page of Pentacles specifically can represent a message. You have the Eight of Wands, which can be a message. So you could be getting good news or like approval for something, which could also be helping you move forward from something that you've been holding on to, right? So again, good news. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Six of Cups. Yeah, I would definitely be careful of anything from the past. Mercury retrograde, Six of Cups is nostalgia, right? So it can just represent the thoughts and the feelings from the past. I do not read Six of Cups as next coming back. It doesn't even mean that. It just represents innocence and nostalgia. So that's thinking about the past or feeling the past. And it doesn't even have to be love. Again, I kind of get more of that feeling of something pulling on your heartstrings, but it's really just nostalgia. It's the past. You're moving into the future. Chariot. You are moving towards something bigger and better and something different. You end with the King of Swords, the future, right? So I think you need to realize that you are moving on to bigger and better things. With the Judgment card and the Judgment card, the future. You have the Death card, the future, right? It's like what it has been is dead. Right here, the King is dead. And the King being dead on the Death card represents the fact that even things that we think are kings, even things that we think are going to be established for a very long period of time, everything must undergo a transformation. Everything eventually decays and turns into dust, right? So I feel for a lot of you that this is definitely saying that something that you thought was going to last for a long time is just leaving your life. And again, it doesn't even have to be this anything dramatic or whatever. I just think that it's saying you're undergoing a change and moving towards something better. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have the student card that says, read books on finance to expand your knowledge. You have this recognition card that says, you will get the recognition and rewards you deserve. You're not going to get recognized if no one knows who you are. Yes, speak up. You have the Page of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands. I think I said this to you in your last reading, Cancer, that it's like time for you to speak up more. Or, I think I've definitely said this to you before in the past, that, it's time for you to speak up more or share your ideas more. It's time for you to kind of like get things out, right? You have the Five of Cups, the Chariot, and the Four of Cups. The Five of Cups is a card of regret, sadness, and disappointment, but he needs to turn around and see these two cups, because then he gets the bridge and the castle over here. So really, the Five of Cups has a very easy solution. And it just represents kind of being grateful for what you do have right here. The funny thing about the Five of Cups is that he has, lost his taste for wine. The story of the Five of Cups is that he has been drinking wine, but he doesn't enjoy it anymore. So what he is grieving the loss of is something that he once enjoyed, instead of moving on to something new. So again, I think that a lot of you are just kind of finding something new in life to enjoy, and that's what you're moving towards. You have the Chariot, your card, Cancer. So, this puts you in a position of power and strength and allows you to get what you want from the reading. He has this city behind him, and it kind of represents the fact that he is leaving the city behind him, and he is setting himself apart. So I'm pretty sure for the past 10 readings, you have had the Chariot, and I have probably said to you every single time that it's time for you to set yourself apart. I really feel there's a little bit of an identity shift going on here as well, and you could be doing some identity shifting. There's a great book called Transurfing, and it's kind of like a long book. You can actually find the audio of it on YouTube, but I'm pretty sure identity shifting is part of Transurfing. And again, the whole, I actually don't, I'm going to have to listen to it again because I don't remember, but what I would say is sometimes I think stepping into that new identity, people from the past feel like you are dying in a lot, on a certain level, but I think you are upgrading, and I would keep moving towards the upgrades here. And sorry, I've had an eyelash stuck in my eye since I don't know, 5 o'clock yesterday. I could barely sleep because it kept bothering me, but there you go. That's why I'm scratching my eye. You have the Four of Cups. Four of Cups can represent disappointment with what you've received. He's kind of disappointed with the offers that he's been getting in his life. He has these 3 cups in front of him. He has this 1 cup reaching out of the cloud. So, I think that there could be a new offer coming in. It could be a love offer, not really a love reading, although I do feel some of you could be communicating with a person, take it how it resonates, and we have the Ace of Cups here. But if you are receiving a love offer, it could be a really solid connection. We'll look into it. With the Five of Cups, you have the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. It says when you know that something is going to be successful for you, that's when it will truly be successful for you. So the Seven of Wands is really about kind of your deep-held beliefs and really developing beliefs that you can accomplish something. I'm almost 1,000,000% sure that the last reading I did for you was all about your mindset, because I remember I kept saying something about your mindset. So the whole entire month, the rest of the month, could be a really good time to develop a kind of belief that you can accomplish what you want to accomplish. With the Chariot, you have the Hangman. It's our perspectives change throughout life. The Hangman is all about seeing things from a new perspective. And because you're seeing things from a new perspective, I think that you are wanting to make changes with the Chariot. So, it's just really, it's kind of funny when this happens in readings, when I get something like this, because to me, it's just life. It's over time, you change your mind, right? I don't think the same thing I did when I was 20, right? So, when I was 20, I was a complete moron. So, what I would say here is, I just think that you have changed your mind about certain things, like wants and desires. I feel like this is very general, but at the same time, this could be a tipping point for you, the middle of this month, August, right? Maybe it's coming up because now is the time when you're actually going to make those changes. So there you go. With the Four of Cups, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like you're very focused on work. Again, that's kind of why I said it wasn't really love reading. There's clearly some sort of work change that's happening, or, some sort of whatever, I don't know, business change. And, it's you have done a lot of work. One thing I will say is that the Eight of Pentacles can represent having done a lot of work on yourself and really having developed yourself. So I kind of feel intuitively that the Eight of Pentacles is saying that you are ready for whatever is next because of the work that you have done on yourself. So if you're doubting yourself or if you're thinking that you can't do something, you definitely can. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Triumph over Adversity card. You also have this Wolf card that says, beware of who you trust. Again, this is coming up in the good stuff. So, again, if you get any weird feelings, I guess the good thing is that you will probably notice that someone isn't trustworthy. I kind of do feel this could be in work or business as well. I also, again, feel that this doesn't have to be, tarot doesn't have to be drama, as I always say. I don't do Kim Kardashian tarot, right? I just do regular advice. And, this could just be that, maybe a boss, like I said, that story I told about a boss making you a promise. I feel like this card is saying maybe that they're not going to fulfill the promise. Maybe this has to do with business or work. And, just trust your instincts. You have the King of Swords, the Ace of Cups, and the Queen of Wands. With the King of Swords, I do feel love. And you have the Ace of Cups. I kind of feel like you're the Queen of Wands here. It doesn't matter what gender you are. I do feel like you could be attracted to someone who's like very mysterious or hard to read. I'm pretty sure I said this to you. In a recent reading. It wouldn't surprise me if this person had like air elements or, something in their chart because, I just feel like, again, it could be like a little bit of a mystery. Could be someone who's older than you as well. So the King of Swords usually like very mature, and so you could be attracting a more mature person. We'll see. You have the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is, regardless of what's going on in your life, I feel like your emotions are overflowing. This is a card of happiness. I kind of feel like you're trying to get back to this place where, the Ace of Cups can fulfill itself. All it has to do is reach down into that water and the cup will overflow again. So I think that a lot of you, the reading is really saying, regardless of what you want, that you are trying to get to a place where, you can fulfill yourself, which is, I don't think there's any better goal in life than to figure out what fulfills you and, what makes you happy and, I almost just said what tickles your pickle. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but there you go. So I'll say it. But I would also say that, I feel like you are trying to figure out what really makes you happy, and you're doing more of those things, which is great. With the Queen of Wands, I feel like you're very attractive at this time, so if you do want love, I would get out there. This is my card of seduction, and I do feel that the Queen of Wands is kind of like the energy that you are expressing at this time or the energy that you're working with. So really that's all I get on the Queen of Wands is that you could be in a very good position to attract something new. With the King of Swords, you have the Ten of Cups. Are you kidding? Happy home, happy family. So I don't know. If you have a mysterious person in your life that you're not sure about, I would say go for it. That looks good. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Eight of Cups. I actually kind of feel like this is saying you're going to be very happy that you are walking away from something, whatever it is. Clearly based off of all of this right here, it's like I'm wondering if you just have emotional attachments to something that you are walking away from. It's like maybe you have a job and maybe like 10 of your friends work at your job. It's like, that's what I mean. It's like there are certain attachments, but also I think that it's not going anywhere. So for a lot of you, I feel you could be walking away from something and walking into something that's much better. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Hermit. Yeah, you're going to have to leave the house, right? You're going to have to get out of hermit mode. No one knows who you are if you're just sitting on your couch, right? So I think that for a lot of you, this is saying, you got to get out of the house or you're going to be tickling your own pickle, if you know what I mean. So there you go. Leave the house. You have this Nest card. It says, an emotionally secure, loving family is important to you. Ten of Cups. Yeah. I also feel like you could be attracting a person who's very similar. One thing that's popping into my head is if you are not really love reading, but if you do want love, I feel like you could be attracting a person where it's like your parents are very similar. I know that sounds weird, but it's like, maybe you're attracting someone who's very different, but I think maybe the way that you were raised is very similar, right? So, again, I think maybe this is like two people who want a family or whatever the case may be. You have the Scissors card. It says disappointment in some affair, Nine of Swords, something, there's clearly something that you are focusing on at this time where you're just cutting off like the dead growth, It's not good. It's not bad. You're just removing things that aren't growing. You have this Eagle card. It says triumph over obstacles. Yeah, any obstacles that you're experiencing, I think you will be overcoming. You have this handshake card. It says a meeting with a stranger could be important. Yeah, I actually feel like for work or business, again, some of you could be meeting with someone, or again, you have that Page of Pentacles, which could be like approval for something. But I almost feel like this could be, like a new job direction or a new job offer that you're receiving. Could be someone who's wanting to help you out, but I think that anything, Eight of Wands, the other thing that I'll talk about is that the Eight of Wands to me is really a great card for socialization. And so if you are like looking for a job, it might be a good time to socialize because you never know. You might go to a party, you might get off the couch, you might go out in public, and you might meet a person who's like, oh, I'm looking to hire a person, right? So you never know. Get out in public. You have this Seahorse card. It says family matters. Some of you could be thinking about having a family. I mean, you're a Cancer. I think Cancer is, like 90% of your thoughts are probably family anyway. So, a lot of you could just be thinking about family or, having a family or building a family or doing whatever you're doing. But very interesting reading. I would say bigger and better, moving on to bigger and better things, right? So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your month.